I'm sorry, mate. I've kind of neglected you. Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look back at the 256 in the Ford XW. I actually had some footage that I had never finished up because I had a few problems with this engine. We're going to be looking at that today. I took off the carburetor to rebuild that. As you know, in previous episodes I actually had redone the fuel pump, changed the fuel pump, changed the water pump and all that. So that was all looking good until the engine wouldn't start. So I decided to pull the carby off and rebuild it. So we're going to cover that today. It's a bit of an old sort of footage, so back to probably episode 6 or so. So we're going to take a look at that. And yeah, if that kind of interests you, stick around. Maybe you want to fast forward, whatever. But basically that's what we're going to be covering today. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch up towards the end of the video and I'll give you an update on where we're at with the car. Take this off. It looks like it's another this breather, so I might just pop this off this one. I'll just pull this off with the carby completely. I'm gonna leave that there. This is fine. Alright, couple of things. I've already started disassembling. This was up here, like so. Had this was hooked on there, just like that. The plunger, obviously hooked on there. So nothing really that major there. Got a few little split pins here. These two went onto this piece, which was here, which is in there. Just kept those clipped on. So this was up here. This one was on this part of it's like the choke. Yeah, so that was there. So this little pin here needs to go on that side. Okay, let's keep moving. Push that out, so that's again just another little split there. Okay, so that's that, so now I can just pop out of there just fine. I think I'll just take this little clip here, although I have no idea how that comes off. Does it just pop off? Just have a split on the bottom maybe. Maybe you gotta kind of press it up, I guess. There we go. Just press it up. And now, kind of will be able to just disengage this whole top section. Because I don't think there's anything now really just holding that on. So there's a spring in the middle there. There's a spring here. So let's get a good look at that, what that looks like. So there's a spring here, looks like there's a little spring on the bottom, and there's a spring in the middle there. Let's have a look at the float now. So obviously as the fuel rises, it comes and it blocks off your needle and seat here. Just where your fuel inlet is here. The float rises, it goes up. Alright, so I'm just taking the base off now. I've taken a few bits and pieces off like this. Little jet thing. The accelerator pump, I think that's called. I'm just going to take the base off now, but I just want to record that these 2 bolts go here. And there's a crappy rusty bolt there and another smaller one here. So I'm just going to take these off quickly. So these are from the base. Then we've got these other ones. All right, so this has come apart just so I know which way this goes back together. This actually sits on top here. So we've got a vacuum and a vacuum. These two sit on the same side with the float away from the mechanical parts here. So, okay, up until this point you would have seen sort of started pulling the carby apart, and that's actually finished. I ended up putting it back together, and we're gonna go straight to where I got up to trying to get the engine started, because I didn't end up videoing putting the carby and everything fully back together, but I did put some stuff as part of a carburetor kit that I did put in there to make that work, and chucked it back on, and we'll pick up from where I got from there. All right, fellas, another night, another drama. This is how it goes. So I got the car started. I did actually get this running. I did get the Ford 6 running, but it was making a bit of a knocking sound. And I was wondering, well, more of a ticking sound. So after rebuilding the carburetor, put that back on. She fired up pretty much straight away, which was good. But then there was a ticking sound, which I thought maybe was a stuck lifter. So I had it running for a little bit, and I thought, I don't know, that doesn't sound that good to me. I thought maybe it's something more serious. So I pulled the rocker cover off, taking a look. Have a look here. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but that rod, that push rod is fucked. Excuse the language. And a few of them have come out, so they must have been looser than what I thought. I didn't actually think that would happen, but this is where we're at. So it actually runs. It's misfiring, but it is running. It's just obviously can't stay like that. So a bit disappointing. So now it's like, how much do I bother with this engine? Do I try and get it running anymore, or just leave it as it is and just go, well, that's it? I don't know. Kind of inclined to try to get it running, because there's going to be a while before I get to work on the V8. This is going to go through a full rebuild. So, you know, it would be good to have an engine running in the car, and then I need a gearbox for the V8 as well. So it's going to be a little while. It'd be good to try and have this running as it is. So maybe if it doesn't cost too much, I'm thinking new push rods, head's got to come off. Don't know what sort of damage. For all I know, the cam's screwed now, depending on what was happening there. I don't know if I'd ever go as far as a cam change. That's probably a bit much. So anyway, here's where we're at. Bit disappointing. But you know, it was always going to be a bit of a long shot. Anyway, that's the update. Stick around, see how we go from here. Okay, so now you know where we're at with the engine. Basically, push rods are bent. Need to find some new ones. So I did actually source some on Facebook through Marketplace. Unfortunately, the guy didn't want to send them to me. I asked him, we agreed on a price for a full set of 12. I should point out these push rods are actually pretty hard to get, being the 2V. There's not many 6s that I'm aware of that have the cup on one end and the ball on the other, so these are actually quite hard to get, and I couldn't find anything in the exact same size. So a guy was going to send them to me. Unfortunately, he didn't, and to be honest, I'm not going to push the guy if he doesn't want to sell them. He doesn't want to sell them for whatever reason. So that was that. So basically now what I've done is I've sourced a guy who can actually make them down in Melbourne. So I'm going to send him probably one of these push rods. You can see this one here's the damaged one. The cup's completely just broken off that. So we're talking about another $300 just for these. So, you know, that's probably a bit of overkill, but you know what the hell. I want to get this engine running because, you know, why not? It's good to see the old girl breathe again and possibly live some life in another car, because this engine's obviously not staying in here, but it'd be fun just to see if we can get it up and running again. You would have seen it was running, so I'm pretty confident that what we've done with the carb and everything's looking really good. Got to put a new fuel tank in it as well. Don't really like the tank that's in it. It does smell a bit weird, so a bit worried that there's some contamination in the line, which is why we have this external fuel tank here. So I'm going to get another fuel tank as well. I haven't really done that much of the car. I've actually been working on my daily driver. There was a few issues with the window regulator being electric and stuff like that. So I've got a few things I need to work on with that while I'm waiting for stuff for here. So the diff is finally on its way. I've ordered the 9-inch that's going to go in the back here. It's going to come from Castlemaine Rod Shop. They're going to be supplying it. Unfortunately, there is a bit of a wait. I'm not exactly sure. It could be up to 6 months. So, you know, just the way things are right now, it could be quite a while, but I'd say we've got at least another 6 months of stuff to do on the car anyway. So, but that was probably the biggest investment I've put into the car. It was pretty close to 5K. So I'll talk about the diff a bit more when it comes, but it's got 31 spline axles, all the good stuff. Should handle up to 1,000 horsepower, which is more than what I'd be expecting to get out of the V8 for quite a while. So yeah, that should do the job. And I haven't done any more in the engine yet, but we'll be continuing on with whatever I can. Probably the fuel tank is something I'm looking at next, but there's always stuff to think about. And, you know, unfortunately, there's not an unlimited supply of cash. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you sticking around, and I hope you found some of that interesting if you're building one of these. And if you've never seen the 252V, it is actually an interesting engine with the adjustable rockers. So anyway, take care, everyone, and we'll see you on the next video at Rob's Garage. Cheers. See you next time.